The class is the Mealime Meal Planning app, and it's being taught by Haley Barker. She's the Extension Agent in Stillwater County. And just a few reminders is to keep yourself on mute, and the recording will be placed on the Facebook page with the MSU Extension office. And any resources that Haley shares today will also be placed there as well. So with that, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and pass the baton over to Haley to start teaching the class.
Perfect. All right. Thank you, Caitlin. So as she said, I am Haley Barker. And this is my first year as an extension agent, which is it's kind of been a crazy year, especially now that we're learning all these new things and trying all these different things of how to get the word out and everything. It's exciting, but a little bit challenging at the same time. Before I came to Extension, I taught family consumer science at the high school level for 8 years. And my husband and I just recently, 9 months ago, welcomed our son. Currently he's asleep, and I'm hoping he stays asleep for the duration of this program. So what I wanted to talk a little bit about today was meal planning. And the reason that I wanted to focus on meal planning is because I think it's really important, and for a variety of reasons. Part of that, it saves so much time, and it reduces that stress, that feeling of what am I going to make for dinner? And if you have kids at home and they're asking you, Mom, what's for dinner? Sometimes those are fighting words in some families. And I think that's part of if we don't have a plan in place, we often struggle with that. So this kind of reduces that feeling. The other thing is it saves money, and especially in our times right now where we're trying to make the most of every dollar that we have, this is another great way to do it. So you reduce the waste that you may have if you don't meal plan. So you buy things that you know you're going to need and that you know you're going to eat as well. And there's a lot of other little things. I have an infographic that I want to share with you. Maybe. Oh, that's not it. There we go. So this is a little infographic. I know that it's kind of hard to see as of right now, but I'll kind of zoom in a little bit. But it is just a nice way to think about what we want to do when we're meal planning. So the first thing is to make a plan. Find about 30 minutes to take inventory of your pantry, your cupboards, of your fridge, everything. Find out what you're going to need, needs to be used right away, what needs to be purchased, and then make a list and stick to those. Make a list and stick to it is the biggest part of that as well. Buy what you know you're going to eat. If you know you're not going to eat something, don't feel bad. Don't buy it. Buy things that you know you're going to eat, your kids like, your family likes, all of those things. Freezing it. Freeze what you can avoid throwing out. That can be milk, it can be fruit, it can be vegetables. It can be different prepared dishes like soups, lasagnas. I mean, so many different things. The other thing is blanch some of your vegetables and then freeze them for later for a quick side dish. So it's just so much quicker when you're ready to start cooking dinner. Eat your leftovers. Leftovers don't really do any good if they're just left sitting in the fridge. If you're not a person that likes food reheated, focusing on finding another way to utilize those items. It could be a sauce that you found that you had and you had left over. How can I repurpose that sauce? What else can I put it in? And then first in, first out, put those items that you need to be used in the front of your fridge where you see them right away, so you know, oh, I need to use that before it goes bad. And then the last thing is when in doubt, throw it out. If it's something you're just not 100% sure on, you're not sure if it's something that you should eat, don't try to be that hero. Just throw it away if you aren't sure if it has a weird smell, some of those things. So when in doubt, throw it out. You're not 100% sure. The other thing, the other reason that we meal plan um, is also because when you do meal plan, um, you tend to find healthier meals. And if you are trying to make sure that you are providing good, healthy meals, whatever that might look like, um, this also helps with that. So, with that, feel free to go along with me with this next thing. I'm going to show you an app that has been a huge time saver. I really enjoy trying new recipes. So this particular app has allowed me to be able to try new recipes. If you have any restrictions, dairy restrictions, or just things that you don't like, it allows you to find those things to edit out the things that you don't like or you know you're not going to eat. So I'm going to share this with you. So hopefully you guys can see this. So this is, if you want, you can, this is also an app on your phone. So if you want to download it, it's called Mealime. And you can play as we go. That's completely fine. But I'm going to show you, so I already created my own account. I use this. I love it, especially when I'm trying out new recipes or I'm just tired of the same old, same old. This allows me to do something a little bit different. But these are the different preferences that it has. So some of the meal preferences, you can find whatever it is you're looking for, the type of menu that you want, whether that's classic, whether you're trying to reduce your carbs. There's different vegetarian options. So a flexitarian is someone that is very, I like to think of it, they're flexible with their meat. So they will occasionally have meat, but don't like it all the time. If that's something you're interested in, and it's here too. A vegetarian, just a basic vegetarian, no meat in their diet at all. And then we also have a pescatarian, so someone that has a mostly vegetarian diet but will also eat seafood. And there are multiple types of vegetarians, but these are just a few of the ones that are listed in here. And then you also have vegan, so focusing, if that's something you're interested in, you can choose that as well. I love that it gives you so many different options. Then from here, you can kind of click down your allergies and your restrictions. Maybe they're just things that you don't like. So this is my own personal. So for me, I try to eliminate dairy just because I have a little bit of lactose intolerance. So I don't like to do a lot of creamy items. I love to cook them, but I don't always love meat. So that's kind of some of those things. Foods that you don't like, or what I also like to think about is foods that either your family doesn't like, foods that maybe you have an allergy to, or things that you can't find in your local place, especially if you're doing this seasonally. Maybe in the winter, you don't want you don't want the blackberries because they're more expensive or they're hard to find. Or, think of it economically as well. So you can change all of these things whenever you want to, and you can add them in. I do recommend, if you know that you aren't ever, I'm just going to use it for instance. If you know you're not going to eat lamb, your family doesn't like it, whatever it might be, make sure you click it so that it doesn't generate um, any recipes with that in there. So, or things that you're like, yeah, we're not going to have that, whatever that might look like for you. It just gives so many options, which I love because there's a whole long list of things going down from there. And some of these, like, my husband hates onions, which is kind of a big, it's hard for me because I really like onions, especially in cooking, and it makes it a little bit difficult, but you can add those kinds of things into there. And then depending on where you're at, so if you're in the United States, it'll give you measurements using tablespoons, teaspoons, cups, all of that. But it also has in the metric system. And then it gives you how many servings you want per meal. So if you're a family of two of you, it's really nice because then you aren't, you can try recipes that are generated just for the two of you, or if you have more than that. And I know there might be some of you that you have larger families. These are just examples. So I just wanted to show you what that looks like. So I'm just going to go ahead and click update, even though I didn't change really anything for me. And here, this is something that this was my last meal plan that I did, and these things were wonderful, and I really liked it. But I'm going to go ahead and just choose a new one so you guys can see what everything kind of looks like. So you can choose how many meals you want to cook. If you want more than that, that you have to kind of find. I'm going to go ahead and skip this next part here. Then it gives you, it just generates a list of items that you might like. So you can click into them, or if you don't like, let's say you don't prefer this one here, you could just click it and it'll give you a new recipe with something. And then once you've gone through and you've looked at the items that the recipes that it's generated for you, then we're going to go to done. Or if you don't, before I move on, you can, if you don't like any of those, you can swap them all and it'll give you a whole new 5 different recipes that you can try out. And like I said, you can click on ones you're like, yeah, I don't really like that one, and go from there. And then when you're done, it gives you your meal plan for the week. So I'm going to go into the grocery list. So next to it, it has this grocery list. And on here, it gives you everything that you're going to need, and it does it by category. So at the top, it has like all your produce and so on and so forth, all the way down to the bottom. And at the bottom, it has all these other things down here. So if you have other things you want to add to your grocery list, just click here, this add button, and you click the category you want to place it in, so for other, and then you can type in whatever you're going to need, for instance. So we'll do dairy, cheese, and eggs. We'll say that we need cheddar cheese. Add that item, and it's going to add it right to that space here, so that you don't forget, like, oh, I needed that item, or there's something that your kids want, whatever it might be. It adds that right to there. The other nice thing with this is it schedules, you can schedule your grocery trip in your Google Classroom, or sorry, not your classroom, your calendar. It adds that in there, which is really nice. You can also print it off. I know at this point in time, our local grocery store has added in where you can schedule your grocery pickup as well, which is really nice, especially for those individuals that might need it. The other thing with the app, you can schedule it. So if you're looking at, I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but if you're looking at the app on your phone, it's a little bit different than what I'm showing you right now, but it has a grocery delivery on it. So you would just click that, and you can also schedule a delivery to wherever it might be. It kind of just depends on your local place and what you have available to you. So if that's something that you're interested in, it has that option for you. The other nice thing with this is your recipes. I love when, especially when you're going to use it to prepare your food, it has everything right here. It has everything you're going to need, which is nice. Has all of your ingredients you're going to need. And then it also, when you are looking at the recipe, it tells you the directions, but it also tells you right underneath how much of everything you're going to need. So for instance, the seasonings here, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, depending on if you want to measure those things out, but it tells you what you're going to need for everything. And I really like that feature, because you're not clicking back and forth between things trying to find out, oh, how much of that did I need? This might be a little bit better. So 1 teaspoon of thyme, half a teaspoon of salt, pepper. I mean, it just is so nice to have that option there too. So you can utilize that. And it's really handy on your phone as well. This is what you can do on your computer, but the app on your phone is extremely nice and wonderful to use and really user friendly. It's not difficult. It's easy to use. All of it. Which is something I absolutely love. And I've had a few people that have talked to me about using it, and when they started using it, how much it really changed what they're doing, and it really changed their um, their happiness level because they come home and they know exactly what they're going to make in the evening for dinner. It just makes things so much easier, so quick, and you can do it. You can sit on the couch even and just figure out what it is that you want to make for dinner for the next week. And it just eliminates that stress of what am I going to have for dinner? And so I just really encourage you to try it if it's something that you are trying to find time to do. Just really encourage you to at least try it out, see what you think, because it is really helpful and just one of those tools that is so nice. And I can't say enough good things about it. And no, I don't have stock in having this app or anything. So it's just one of those things that I found that's been really fun to try and something a little bit different. So um, this time, that's really all for me today with talking about Mealime. If you guys have any questions about the app or you have any questions about things that I've tried with it, whatever it might be, I'm open to answering questions as well.
So what's been your favorite recipe so far that you've tried?
Oh gosh. I'm gonna have to look on my phone for that one because I did save them. You can save them as well. I don't think I showed that. But you can save them on your as like a favorite.
Uh-huh.
And the last meal plan that I did, which it just changed and it was so good, and I didn't save the one. Um, I did save this one. It was a chicken with mustard cream sauce and spinach salad. It was really good. I really liked it. And it wasn't super creamy. I don't really like a lot of the creamy stuff, but it did have still kind of that cream in there. I like the taste. It just doesn't always love me. So, um, but I've loved everything that I've done from there. It's been really good. And the other thing that you can do, I forgot to mention this, you can add in your own recipes to it as well. So if you have some Instant Pot recipes that you really like, it takes a little bit of time, but you can add those recipes um, really easily into the app as well.
Awesome. Well, while you're thinking of your question, I am going to open a poll for you. So go ahead and start logging on or over on I think it's on the right-hand side is usually where those polls come up. So you can start answering those questions in there. Any other questions that you might have for Haley? How long does it take to upload those recipes? Like about 5 minutes, or do you have to find the exact food item, or how does that work?
No, it doesn't take long. It's just a matter of you sitting down and typing them into the app so you can use it. So it takes that time. But really, other than that, it doesn't take any time to do those things. So that's really nice.
I've actually used I use the Mealime app a lot as well, and it's amazing. But if you have a recipe that's online, you can import that into Mealime, and that helps take a little bit of time off of the adding your own recipe to the program.
Oh, awesome. I haven't tried that yet.
Yeah, I did it with because we have gotten HelloFresh in the past, and so I actually was able to find the recipe from HelloFresh online and just import it, and it copied everything pretty smoothly. However, I have used other locations to get a recipe from, and it did require a little bit of kind of back and forth fixing things, but it gets all the groceries on the grocery list, and it's pretty easy to navigate.
Having a grocery list is so helpful and so nice because you don't have to come up with that yourself. And yeah, I just really love that part too. Just takes away some time that you can do other things with.
So I have a question for those on the call. So what kind of foods are hard to find right now in your grocery stores? Are they starting to get back to normal, or are things still missing? And you can respond in the chat, or to take yourself off mute and answer. All right, Jeanette looks like she said that there's baking items like flour, baking powder, yeast, etc. are missing.
I've noticed in our local grocery store, they limit how much you can buy. So you can only buy 2 like boxes of butter type thing. And I thought that was kind of interesting.
I think at one of our grocery stores they're doing that, but at the main grocery store that I shop at, they don't have any limitations. And I think that could have been helpful earlier, about a month ago, when things started disappearing off our shelves.
Right.
Yeah. There's about a minute left for those who want to still complete the survey. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. My computer, which was somewhat amazing, is my computer glitched out right when I passed it over to Haley to start presenting, and so I'm at a different computer now, and it kept going, and this video kept streaming, and everything. I think you all didn't even see a notice. So on this computer, I don't have the PowerPoint presentation, but tomorrow's program is simple ways to support your mental health. And then on Friday is shop safe and eat safe, tips during COVID-19. So I am going to try to stop recording that. There we go. And